everybody, this is JR again, and we're back at another Explorer. We're off of Route 4, and this is the Jefferson Township Lower Miami Cemetery. Okay? And there's the regulation and rules for the cemetery, and a little bit about the cemetery that I know. This is Route 4, and I just discovered this cemetery a couple years ago. And we have a little creek that comes in from over there, and we just come down here, and we entered in through here. And we're a resident of Jefferson Township, and so we're allowed in here in the daytime, and we're going to go in here and see what we see. No smoking, don't worry. All right, let's go in through this direction, and I'm assuming we're going to exit up that way because that's the main entrance. We're on a side entrance here, looks like. So we have a little wing here to the left. We have this section. This cemetery appears to be pretty old. We have some stuff right up in here, and some more headstones up in there. And before we go too much further, let's walk over there to that creek real quick and take a look. Looks like that's Infirmary Road cross right up straight ahead. That's Infirmary Road. And we're just going to give this a highlighted moment or two. And we are looking at a well-watered run creek, as we see. And looks like a pretty new bridge here. Pretty quiet, not many people around here. Pretty quiet. Well, Infirmary Road's lived with cars and everything that way, sure is. So tend to go this way. All right. We don't need to cross this street here. There's not really much to see here. So let's move on up to the other side of the cemetery. Okay, we're mounted up here, and we're going to go on in the cemetery a little bit on the bike, and let you go right along with us. Looks like we got a little house up there. So I think we'll just stop up here to the building. How's that? A lot of stuff we're flying by here, so just taking a quick little look. It's a quick scan going through. There's that main entrance, and looks like we're entering the left side. This looks like it used to be an old house for people's loved ones. All right, so let's get off of the bike now and take a look at some of this stuff, if you'd like. Here we have an old structure here. It's still standing. All right, it looks very good. It'd be probably as old as it is and still be standing here. That's why they don't want anybody in here messing around. I'm sure that people's all over this and seeing me even approach the property, and some people even get a little freaked out about that. Here's another one of them signs of the rules and regulations. And they just don't want nobody in here vandalizing, because it's so bad, I guess. People in here partying and stuff like that. We're just here to explore and take a look around. Looks like, what is that? Is that an old outhouse up there? And we also have a sign here for the water supply, giving us a warning. I guess it's for this little old cistern here or something that's actually got water in it. There's water in there. If you can see that or not, but yeah, there's actually definitely water in there. There, must be an old cistern. How would you like to have a big old glass of drinking water right next to, you know, it just doesn't sound good, does it? Let's take a look at the back side of that structure. Definitely a historic building, for sure. Wouldn't take much to mend it up. Oh, that's a tree here's about old and dead, but it makes for a good looking sculpture, doesn't it? We got a lot of people here, a lot of loved ones here. It's 1972. See, we got an 1882 to 1972, 1885 to 1949. It's like somebody's just recently put some flowers on this headstone. And sure where I walk here. There's a 1898 to 1959. This must be a little newer section of the cemetery. And we're looking at this left-hand side as you come up first, evidently. So I want to cover some of these. Right here, here's a little older one. Patterson. And we got to walk behind these. They're in the center. The center would be right here. Wow. $1873 to what? 1940 something. 43. Tate. Boy, sun's coming out. It's becoming nice today. Thelma. Fredericks Sr. Yeah. And there's a view looking from the back, middle back, left as you enter. And stay in the center. Well, this is pretty. Come on, something nice here. Somebody's put some things out. Yeah. All right. And here we have Corporal. Wow. Corporal Killinger. you imagine being an enemy of his in World War II and having that Corporal Killinger? I mean, like, woo, that would be kind of scary just hearing the name, wouldn't it? Woo. Yeah, well, looks like the corporal takes the highlight here so far. So let's get another copy of that here. Absolutely, definitely. Okay, so we'll get one more shot of the corporal here. Alrighty. Now let's walk over here to where some of these tall ones are at in the dead center and see what we see. Got EBY. Is that what it says? Yeah. Okay. Oh, these are a little zigzag. I'm gonna have to walk differently. Baker. Yes. Let's go back to the front of this since we talked about that. I don't know where the... Maybe these are not full yet, I guess. Okay. Let's go right over here. We got Thelma McLean. Richard McLean. Uh-oh. Is that Staff Sergeant? We got a Staff Sergeant here? I gotta walk. I can't. I feel funny about it. I won't do that. I gotta go back. Let's see. Staff Sergeant. Yeah. Not enough rank to take the highlight for today there, Staff Sergeant. But well done. Alright. There we go. There we found him. Over here. Let's have all this through here. Gustin. And we got a couple of other big ones here. We got Saunders. 1862 and to 1943. Olt. Now, what I do know about Olt, there's an Olt Road here in Jefferson Township, and there's a little bitty extension of it called Olt Road Extension, which is broken up by one of these streets that crosses it. And I'm just curious if that could be the same lineage as the Olts that's got that name, road name down there. And looks like we got some Thompsons over here. A lot of Thompsons here. There's 4 Thompsons I'm counting. And then here's Henry Olt right here. And there's the Olts right over here. I'm walking between them now. So here, let's take a look at these. Some of that might, you know, I'm just guessing through some of this military language. So somebody out there might want to help us out on some of that. What do we got? Elizabeth Holt. 1845 it looks like. And there's a Laura Olt, 1883. And the Thompsons are back there. That one, first one there would be Anna, 1891 to the left. Charles at 1890. Judith to the right over here, 1972. And 1970 with Darwin over here. And there's, must be, okay, we got another army person here. James Olt. Wow, there's a lot of army people here. Let's walk up to this way. Well, we got another. So now we're working on that left side over there. Don't look like it's super big place, but it's fun enough to explore. And this Route 4 again up here. This is the main entrance coming through here. And we come in down there. We rode with the e-bike up through here, all the way around, and zipped around, and we stopped there. We covered around the back area, come back there, looked at that, what looks to be an outhouse. We might go back that way again and head that direction. But we went that way, covered around that area some briefly, and come up this way. We made it to the Olds, and we have the Nyes coming up here, which is going to separate us to this other section over here. So let's just take a little walk. Let's see if we see something old or something, if it stands out. How about let's look for the biggest. It would be a tie between that one right there, it looks like, that one right there, and that one looks awful big. So let's, there's a couple back in that hole back there. This one here looks awful big right here, so this is going to be one of the biggest ones here. So let's take a look at that. How about that? This is Andrew E. See, wait, I can't read it. Let's see. I can get the first and the last part of it, but J-E-B-Y family, I guess. I don't understand it. Well, anyway, here we got some, okay, that's just the way, the last name is E-B-Y, I guess. Well, quite a few here. All right, it looks pretty tight. Such things that we haven't covered, and we're not going to be able to cover everything, of course. Let me back this out. We have shapers here. I don't know. Try not to make that bounce because I'm focusing in there. Okay, and so let's cut it off here since we recorded up through that way on a fast ride on the e-bike, and we'll go up here and get my e-bike and we'll meet you back that way, and we'll go in the back towards that direction. Okay, last time we cut in up that way and went that direction, and we was up there, and then I come over here and we're looking back that way. We've already went up that way. There's the dead artifact tree that we talked about, and over here we're going to go down towards this, what it looks like to be an outhouse building. We see tire tracks from cars going through here. Had to look behind me. And there's up the cemetery from the back half, right side. And evidently cars or trucks. Looks like maybe work trucks. Okay, work trucks of Jefferson are putting some things. Oh, and behold, what did I discover? A trail. Hot diggity dog. We have a trail behind here, which probably leads to Possum Creek Metro Park, and that's, we're going to be covering Possum Creek. That's a handy note. Too bad we didn't have a bike connection through here. And let's take a look at that little building structure. What it assumed to be an outhouse. And I was correct. There it is. I'm not going to look. I'll stick my hand in there if anybody wants to see. Lord of mercy. Now let's take a look at the other side of this thing where there's one. There must be two, right? Yes. Here it is over here. I guess it's still functional in some kind of weird way. I mean, it would beat Just being out there, I guess. I don't know. I wouldn't suggest that either. All right. Yeah, there it is. Same thing. Just the other side. It must have been a men and women's side at one time. At a loud house that was functional. So this trail, basically, this cemetery can lead us to a trail down here, which I want to go down and get linked into that trail, because it does look like an active, valid trail. Doesn't it? Doesn't it look like a... It does. It's snaking around through there. I can see it behind the cemetery here. That might be a good little shortcut to cut in through the park, since we're going to cut through Possum Creek anyway, but we'll probably go through the main entrance. So anyway, those were outhouses. It's beautiful out, sun shining. Got a little big hole in the roof up there. Would take much a little something just to patch that thing back together, that building, keep it from rotting down and preserve it. We got William. All right, this is the father, mother. Shanks. There's some shanks that we covered on our other episode when we was at Bear Creek Hillgrove Cemetery. That got a lot of likes, a lot of comments, shares. That people just loved it, the loved ones there, and that kind of sparked interest of us coming here off of this older cemetery that's back off of Route 4 down here, and just this side of Infirmary Road, about a mile. And so we're getting tuned in, and we're looking down this way at the park on the left side. Now, if you remember behind me here, behind the guest house, if you will, we are going this way, and we're going to check out some of these big monuments. We looked at the big one over here in the front center, so now we're going to move ahead. We've got some stuff we're passing up here, so let's just keep trucking. We're looking to go on in this thing. I mean, those people that's watching, that's want to check us out, you can check us out. We're on YouTube, exploring, and check that out. And we got a few other videos that we started on a couple years ago, and we are looking at getting more going. This is our second one of the year, and we're doing a cemetery this trip. Let's take a look at these Enoch. Now that's a pretty old one. His wife, Dills, Elizabeth, and Elsie. Wow, look at that babe. Ain't she a beaut? Nice. Must be the crown point for H.J. Dills, huh? It almost sounds like a department store name or something. And we got basic other ones here. You know, I don't know how much we're going to get out of this video. It looks like we're getting close to coming to the end of this thing. And I'm just trying to cover an area that somebody may know or recognize. This is a genie. Genie, looks like. '86, wow. Okay. I mean, there's a little wing down here that has some old stuff in it, so I need to cover all of it. So I need to cover this little toe down there. So I'm going to gather up my stuff and go down there to the little toe and video coming back towards this direction. Okay, we made it to that little toe, and this appears, this is the old section of the graveyard. Look what we have. We have several tombstones up here, these grave markers. Looks like could be possible of a whole family. Let's get an idea of a newer one that's in here. And it looks like November of 1852 would be the birth date. And what does that say? Death date 1937. Now this is creepy stuff. Doesn't really mean to be creepy, but ooh. So they come out of shock theater or something. It's hard to even read anything. Henry. It's kind of strange. Can we get any kind of date? No, that ain't right. I can't really make the date. Yeah, 1878 death date. That's what I'm detecting there. I'm visually impaired, so maybe you could see that. Looks like 1878, maybe. Then that means how old are these guys? Ah, somebody's recently broke that off, or the wind's called it or something, ain't it? They're all very fragile. They could easily fall down because the cemetery is well maintained as far as the grass and keeping, you know, leaves up and stuff off the tree. It looks like that's taken care of. They're even mowing the older section. And here's a hole. That's strange. Look how close those are together. This is probably the original cemetery and where it started. Right here. We have Abraham, all the way back in the days of Abraham. Wow. You know what? This stuff is old. See if we can get a glimmer of the date. 1872 on that one. Kathleen. And those look so good because they've been underneath this little pine tree, preserved. We have a yucca plant up ahead. Several of them. Somebody's come up here and stretched out these yucca plants, it looks like. Every year for quite a few years. 1, 2, 3. I'm assuming somebody's come up here for 5 to 10 years to stretch these yucca plants out. I could be wrong. Maybe longer. Because somebody was coming up here doing this probably to keep the weeds down. Let's take a look. I know some people's probably wanting to see some of this stuff, so let's get in a little deeper. 1835. One of them yucca plants, and these are disintegrated headstones. And probably this is maybe looks like the original place, location for the original cemetery. It's exactly what this is. And it just expanded beyond. Now here's some really, really old stuff. This is beyond visible. Oh wait, we got an 1853 death date on that one. Died July 1845 on this one. That's looking back out of the toe. So it looks like what we're calling the toe here. The toe of the RT4 cemetery is the original cemetery. And we have what looks to be the crown of the old section. Would be this dude right here. And this is Albert Mount, maybe? 1875. 1875. It's pretty old. And that's over here looks like Possum Creek Reserve right on the other side of this tree line there. That does look like Possum Creek over there. I know when I looked at it on the map, Possum Creek does run right behind us here because we will be checking out Possum Creek.